Every time. All right, everyone, welcome back to week 7 at Meet Me at the Coffee Pot. As always, I'm Carlos. With me, I have.
Elzar Rios, what's up?
That was a new format you just sprung on us.
Yeah, caught me off guard there. Usually you just do the whole thing.
And I'm Will Herrick,
Also known as Dub.
also known as Dub.
So we call him a Dub. I was asked last week by one of our viewers. He was like, "You guys say Dub a lot. Like, is it you talking about wins or something?"
We're
I'm
getting
like,
dubs.
Yeah, Dub is Will.
That's me.
One of our viewers? Do you mean our viewer?
Yeah, our single awesome viewer.
Was it my mom? I don't think she watches.
I saw said viewer earlier today, and they were like, "Dude, I went to your channel, and I was like, there's no pics." I was like, "Yeah, we were all busy, so we're doing it tonight, late tonight."
Yo,
It'll be out. It'll be out before the game starts.
Yeah. So today is Saturday night. We tweeted out our Thursday picks. Unfortunately, I went with Denver plus 2.5 and lost.
I did too, and that was pretty pathetic by Denver. They need to fire their entire coaching staff. Their offense is from like the 1971 football season. All right, and speaking of Twitter,
I took Cleveland. If anyone cares, I got it.
No one cares. Speaking of Twitter, also tweeted out this week some new content coming out from the podcast, the weekly NFL power rankings. So stay tuned for those. It's a fun little bit that I don't know if we're going to do a podcast about it or talk about it on the podcast or not, or maybe a little bit, but it'll be probably a Twitter thing. And what that is separately without talking about it. Each one of us is ranking all 32 NFL teams, 1 to 32, top to bottom of the league, and then loading them separately into an Excel spreadsheet, and then we're calculating the collective power ranking index of the week. And so last week we had the Rams as our second best team, second only to the Cardinals, so the NFC West with a lot of top 5 representation there. We'll have to see how it kind of plays out this week.
It's funny because I had written my rough draft before the Bills game, and I had them at number 1, and then they just got beat up last week and dropped them like 4 spots. So it switched it all up for me. It was really weird. I was drawing arrows. It was too much.
I had them at 2, and I was like, if they played this game real conservative and kicked a field goal and then like won in overtime, I would leave them at 2. But I was like, I'm not gonna just like I'm not gonna scrap my whole list and start over because of the end of this. So I just left them. But we'll see how it shakes out this week. I still think they're good.
I mean, they're good, but they got their ass kicked, so I had to.
Yeah, it was tough.
Adjust.
All right. So going from last week, I think I had the best week. I went 10-5, hit my lock, so that's always cool. So for that, I will go first on locks, but we'll get there soon enough. How'd you do last week, Deb?
I went 8-7, so things were looking pretty good. I missed both primetime games, which kind of tanked the overall week. But any week I'm over 500, I'm counting that as a win. So I am 54-43 overall, and I am 3-3 on the season for my lock of the week.
I also went 8-7, but I got a perfect score in the London game, Miami at Jacksonville. So that bumped me up to 9-7, and my overall record is 55-45.
All right, I forgot to say my overall. So that, with my 10-5, brings me to 51-44 overall. All right, with that, let's just get into it. All right, so first game I have Washington at Green Bay. That is Washington football team, who supposedly have rumors out there that they might be choosing the team name pretty soon, which is kind of cool. I don't know, that'd be fun.
But Washington football team is one of the options.
That's what I heard also, which kind of like.
I like.
Yeah, what? Just keep it. You think just like ride with it now or what?
I like it.
I don't hate it.
I think it's funny when the announcers like talk about them. They're like football team and blah blah blah. I'm like, can't you just call them Washington?
Just call them Washington.
Exactly. They're like football team. I'm like, no, just call them Washington. Everyone's gonna know what you're talking about. You don't have to call them football team. All right. But they're in Green Bay, and Green Bay is heavily favored right now at -9.5. Geez, not quite double digits, Dub, but just about. I kind of went back and forth a little bit in this game, but at the end of the day, I kind of think Green Bay's firing on some pretty decent cylinders right now. The running game looks great. Aaron Rodgers had a nice little scamper for a TD last week, and Devontae Adams had a good week too. So, with that being said, I took Green Bay 36-17. Washington just they're too inconsistent for me, and I
Wow.
think when they play really good teams, they kind of shit the stick a little bit. So, give me Green Bay minus 9.5.
I I took Green Bay as well. I think their offense is playing awesome, and Washington football team's defense is a pretty big disappointment. I have Green Bay winning 27-17. Green Bay minus 9.5.
I think the Packers win, but I think that point spread is just a little too big. So I have the Packers by 9. Packers 30, Washington 21, but I'm taking the underdog.
Dun dun dun.
All
Big
right.
underdog week this week.
I have a lot of favorites. Lots of points. lots of
Lots of points.
I have a lot of both. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll go over to Tennessee. Kansas City's playing in Tennessee. Early game. Tennessee just came off a big win over the Buffalo Bills. They looked pretty good last week. The Bills looked kind of bad, but Tennessee looked decent. Derrick Henry's doing Derrick Henry things. A.J. Brown should be playing, even though he still has a stomach problem going on, I think. But I think a lot of teams, they come off this big win and they kind of fall off a little bit. And I think Kansas City's they're rolling right now. So I have Kansas City winning 30-20 and give me Kansas City minus 5.5 points.
I agree with you. Real quick about the Titans last week. I said last week I thought the Bills were going to, and maybe they tried, and Derrick Henry is just good enough that it didn't matter. But I thought they would really, really sell out to stop the run and try to make Ryan Tannehill beat them. And it never got to that point. He just kept running, and he got going, and he ran all over them. And they didn't have to make Tannehill win the game because Tannehill didn't have a good game. He went 18 for 29 for barely over 200 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. So it's like that was the way to win that game, and Derrick Henry just had it rolling. But I think the Chiefs are the better team overall, and I think that their offense is getting into gear, and they made some dumb mistakes last week against Washington, and they still overcame them and won that game easily. I like the Chiefs on the road. The Titans kind of a letdown game. Chiefs 30, Titans 24.
All right. So I'm a loner in this game. What this really came down to me was Derrick Henry's looking scary, and that Kansas City defense has yet to prove themselves, in my opinion. So I
Your
think,
point,
honestly,
their run defense is very bad.
that's what I'm saying. And I think Tennessee knows that, and they're going to be running the hell out of the ball, and they're going to just control the clock. And I don't think Kansas City is going to be able to do much about it. So I think Derrick Henry keeps it going. I'm taking the Titans at plus 5.5. And I'm going to take them as outright winners, too. Kansas City's just kind of been a little inconsistent, especially with that defense, man. Derrick Henry, so I saw a stat. I think Derrick Henry has like 518 yards or something like that after first contact, which if was like in its own, like was its own player, would be like third in rushing in the entire NFL right now. Fucking ridiculous. So I think the Titans look good. They impressed me last week against the Bills. If they can do it 2 weeks in a row, maybe they got something. But I think that Tennessee offense is going to keep Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs off the field, just running the hell out of the ball, controlling the clock.
Derrick Henry is ridiculous. He scored 3 touchdowns in a game 3 times this year out of 5 games.
Well, he's humongous, and he runs really fast. So.
He's so fast.
It doesn't even look like he's running fast, though.
It doesn't look like he's running fast at all.
No.
It's like, why is it when he starts breaking away? It's like, wait, why isn't the defense catching him yet? It's like, are they not trying? And it's like, oh no, they're running as fast as they can.
Yeah.
It's wild.
He's too big to be running that fast. Kind of wild, but he's
all right. Am I up?
Yeah.
Falcons on the road at the Dolphins. This is kind of the loser bowl of the week. I don't know, maybe Maybe it's not, but I actually like the way the Falcons are playing, and I think Tua's bad, and I think the Dolphins are bad, and Atlanta's only a 2.5-point favorite, and I think that they definitely win this game. So I'm taking the Falcons on the road at Miami with not too much of a struggle and kind of an ugly game. Falcons 27, Dolphins 14.
All right. Yeah, I like the way Atlanta played last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. When Kyle Pitts went off, I think if they get him going again, they give Matt Ryan a couple more weapons to work with. I think he does well. Miami looked bad last week. They lost to the Jags. I think they're spiraling. I got Atlanta 28, Miami 22.
This game was probably I told you guys before we started recording that this is the one that I just didn't know heads or tails from, just because both teams are bad and I think both teams have the potential of beating each other. But I don't know. Something just said go Dolphins because they're at home. So, and they have points. So I was like, I'll take the Dolphins at home plus 2.5. But I have them winning outright 17-20. Who knows? Maybe they'll get that home crowd behind them and they'll get it done. But give me the home team plus points.
A lot of outright dogs. I like it.
All right. Next, I think it's my turn. So I have the Jets at the Patriots. Right now, the Patriots are 7-point favorite. I think we can all agree that the Jets are no good. And the Patriots shocked the hell out of me last week with taking the Cowboys into overtime. I did not see that happening. I was very, very shocked. I thought the Patriots played bad, but the Cowboys just let them hang in there. But I don't know. They made them look like an average team, and for that reason, I'm taking the Pats. So give me the Pats -7, 23-13. Jets are no good, and I think Belichick kind of, takes advantage of that.
There are no moral victories. The Patriots are 2-4. This is a close division game because neither team's good. I have the Patriots kicking a fourth quarter field goal to win. Patriots 23, Jets 20. Give me the underdog. Jets +7.
I agree there's no moral victories, but there are teams that are just better than other teams, and the Patriots are better than the Jets. Give me New England 26, New York Jets 13, New England -7. And then I'll roll into the other New York game. I got Carolina in the Meadowlands playing against the New York Football Giants. The spread is 3 points. Carolina's a 3-point favorite. So obviously the Giants are bad. They got destroyed by the Rams last week in a very one-sided game. Carolina started the season pretty hot, but I think Sam Darnold regressed back to, the Sam Darnold we all grew up with last couple of years. And he wasn't looking very good either. However, it's only a 3-point game, and the Giants, I think, are that bad. So I'm going to give Carolina 20, New York Giants 10, Carolina -3.
I agree. I think the Giants are that bad. So give me the Giants to lose more than the Panthers to win. Panthers 28, Giants 18, Carolina -3.
You know what? Last week, I was kind of disappointed in the Panthers because I thought they were going to have a really good game against the Vikings. And it wasn't until the fourth quarter that all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, hey, we're playing football today. And they fucking turned it on and came all the way back and took it into overtime. And that kind of impressed me. And I'm like, if they can just fucking do that for 4 quarters, they might be a decent team. And with that being said, the Giants, come on now. That's a joke. They're a joke. So give me the Panthers -3. I have them winning 26-17. Hopefully they can put a good 4 quarters of football together and not wake up in the fourth quarter and realize that they're in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
All right, Deb.
Okay. Bengals on the road against the Ravens. Our power rankings will reflect this, that we think the Ravens are a pretty good team. I have them in my top 5 for sure. I really like Lamar Jackson. I think that although it's like conventional wisdom that you need a pocket passing quarterback to win in the league. I think he's the kind of guy that you could build the roster around and make a run. And I really think they keep it going this week. I think it's going to be a close game. I have it 1 touchdown. The Bengals they're playing pretty well. They got a lot of young guys playing really well right now, but I'm taking the Ravens at home by a touchdown. Baltimore's a 6.5-point favorite, and I have them covering, but just barely. Ravens 27, Bengals 20.
I think it'll be a good game too. I love the way Cincinnati's playing. I think Jamar Chase is really coming out as as a star in his rookie year as Joe Burrow's main target. And I don't think they're as good as Baltimore. I think, like you said, yeah. I mean, their offense is awesome. Their run game's awesome, and they have a lot of athletes on there. So I didn't think they were that good at the beginning of the season, but the last couple of weeks they've really come out and they played. So give me Baltimore winning outright, 30-25. So I got Cincinnati plus 6.5.
I think, sorry to cut you off, Carlos, but I think that I thought the Chargers were good, and they still may be, but I thought that was a pretty big statement win at home against the Chargers last week, just absolutely smacking them. And I mean, it was a beatdown. So
Yeah,
I think they keep it going.
I mean, the Ravens look good. I'll give them that, but it's a divisional game, and the Bengals are not pushovers this year. I do like that Burrow to Chase, kind of dynamic duo that they have going on right now. And just because it's a divisional game, I think it's closer than a touchdown. So I have the Bengals plus 6.5. I think the Ravens win, but I don't think they win by more than a touchdown. So give me Bengals plus 6.5, 27-30. I think it comes down to the last minute field goal.
I think it's been a good game. I'm excited to watch that one.
That's probably one of the best games this week while everyone's on bye.
Yeah. My list was really short this week. I was like, what happened to all the games? I didn't know what was going on. Carlos, you're next?
Yep. All right. So next I have Eagles at Las Vegas Raiders. I told you guys the Raiders would get it done last week. I just knew they would. It was that we just fired our head coach and lost to a team that we shouldn't have lost to. So now we got to come back and show them that we're still a pretty good team.
I had them covering.
What's that?
I had them covering.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like,
I didn't.
I don't think Las Vegas Raiders are dead yet. And the Eagles started off pretty good too. I thought that they were going to be much better than they are now, but I don't think that they're as good as the Raiders. So with them only being a 3-point favorite, I think they get it done. I think they get the cover. Give me the Raiders 27, Eagles 21.
I agree. Eagles are garbage. Raiders got we fired our coach bonus, and maybe that'll roll over a little bit more this week. Raiders 28, Eagles 20.
I agree with everything you guys said, except I do think the Raiders are dead. I just think they're playing bad teams. So they beat them for last week. Horrible team. We already discussed that. And then I think the Eagles are really bad. So give me Las Vegas 27, Philadelphia 19, Vegas -3. All right, I'll roll into Detroit, or I guess into Los Angeles. The Rams are playing at home against Detroit. Double revenge, double grudge match going on here with Jared Goff and Matt Stafford. This one really, like, I had an internal. I love Detroit to cover all year. I've been picking them to cover, not to win very much, but to cover. But I think the Rams are gonna kill it. I think Matt Stafford's gonna have an awesome game this year. This week, I think he throws for maybe 400 yards or something crazy, and just beats up on the Lions. However, the spread is 15.5 points. That's a lot of points. I think Detroit, their offense isn't completely bad. They've been doing good things here and there. I have the Rams winning 38-24. I had to do the math to figure out if they covered or not. They did not. Detroit plus 15.5.
Lions may be up and coming and a fun story, and people cheer for them. I root for them, but did I say the Rams or the Lions? I'm talking about the Lions, and they're just not there yet. and I think the Rams handle them easily at home. I have them winning by 20. Rams 30, Lions 10.
A lot of points.
Yeah, I don't know. If this one came down to the Rams defense, and if they're as good as I think they are, I
Come on, don't let me be the only guy betting against the Rams right now.
think you are, but sorry. Hate to break it to you. I don't know, man. I'm just looking for that Rams defense to really come out and like just destroy the Lions.
I would be happy if I lost this one. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, exactly. You hedge your bet. You win both ways.
You guys didn't think I'm insane for this, but I went as far as saying Rams 24, Lions goose egg.
Oh boy.
We've had a couple zeros put up like this season.
The Bills have 2.
Exactly. So I was like, I need to start being a little bit more adventurous, and that Rams defense is legit. So I'll be interested to see if they can do it for me.
Jared Goff does well at SoFi.
Yeah.
He knows
Not
the
against
Ramsey
and Donald.
He knows where he's at.
He's usually playing with them, not against them.
That's true. I'm excited to see that.
All right.
Better for the game this week.
You want to talk a lot of points. What's the biggest spread we've had this week or this year? I think it's this one.
I think it's this one.
And I was listening to sports radio earlier, and the line they were talking about, it's up to 21 points now. But we have it at 17. We lock in the lines on Wednesdays for our picks before the Thursday game.
Usually we do our episode that day, so.
Yeah. Texans on the road against 2/3 of this podcast hometown team, the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona is you live in Florida. Arizona is a 17-point favorite. And I love if you guys know one thing about me, it's that I love taking a massive point favorite. I actually don't. I actually really hate it, but I get burned off on it more often than not. I was going to take the Texans in this game. And then I remembered that I think that the Cardinals defense is completely legit, and that Davis Mills is like a turnover machine. And I just don't think the Texans offense is going to be able to get off the ground. I think they're going to be on their own side of the 50 the whole game. And I just think that it's so many points, but I just don't see how it doesn't happen. Cardinals 33, Texans 10, Cardinals at home by 23, and they cover.
I'm gonna roll off of that. I completely agree. I think the Cardinals are, they're legit, and I have Cardinals 33, Texans 12, field goals all day for the
field goal game.
And that's I think the Cardinals are gonna score so fast that's gonna give Houston opportunities to score where they probably normally wouldn't be there because the other team would have the ball. So I think the Cardinals are just going to rack up points. Give me the Cardinals minus 17.
So
yeah, that feels dirty.
Your Bills held the Texans to a goose egg this year, and then the Colts only let them put up 3 points last week. So can you imagine what this Cardinals team is going to do to them? I'm like almost afraid. Like I think like Cardinals can put up like maybe 49 against these guys or something. I look for Kyler Murray to have like 7,000 yards passing or something crazy. I don't know, but I told myself that they might get lucky and kick a couple field goals. And it almost feels disgusting coming out of my mouth saying like, give me the Cardinals minus 17. But give me the fucking Cardinals minus 17. That offense is humming. And they just got Zach Ertz too with a pretty good trade in my opinion. They got him for like a bag of candy and freaking a handshake or something crazy like that. But I think the Cardinals put up 34.
Last year's Halloween candy.
Yeah, last year's Halloween. Exactly. That's a good analogy. Last year's Halloween candy. So I said Arizona 34, Texans with two pity field goals.
What was your score?
34 to
33-12.
What was your, Carlos?
34-6.
34-6. Man, yeah, we're all right there.
Yeah,
okay.
Oof.
Man, a lot of points.
That's a ton of points. It's almost scary how many points that is. But dude, I think the Cardinals, I don't know.
What's crazy is even if we did the spreads today and it was a 21 point, I would still have to take it. Like, it's so nuts. It's wild.
Dude, that Arizona offense is legit. And
Mine's at 21.
good.
That's what you have it at right now?
Yeah, I have 33-12, so that's 21.
Oh, let me see you can move on, but I'm curious what the line is right now because it hasn't gone down, I'm sure.
I think they were like minus 13,000.
Well, every day the Houston Texans get worse, so there's no way it got down. Like just by existing, their team gets worse.
The Yahoo Sports app only has them at 17.5, but yeah, it's gonna be a bloodbath no matter what. The bloodbath of the week.
Yeah,
That's a good game.
All right, am I up?
Yeah.
No, I just did that one. Someone else.
Carlos, you're up.
All right, so I'll wrap things up with Saints at Seattle. Right now, the Saints are a 4.5-point favorite. I don't know, man. 12th man. I think 12th man kind of makes a difference here for me. And I also don't know what the fuck the Saints are doing. They're good one week, they're bad the next week. I don't know what to think of them. Seattle didn't look as bad as I thought they were going to look against my Steelers. They kind of covered and screwed me, but that's fine. But I think the 12th man is going to cause problems for Jameis Winston over there. So give me Seattle plus 4.5 points at home against the Saints and give me as outright winners, Seattle 26, Saints 23.
I got Seattle outright as well. I got Seattle 31, New Orleans 27. Pretty much same thing. I like Seattle at home.
I think the 12th man's a bunch of phony nonsense, and
it's loud.
I know it actually is. I went there once. I was standing outside the stadium once. Gene Merriman, big fan of this show. He's been on the show before. He was visiting us in Seattle, and they were playing Pittsburgh. And when you looked into the stadium, you could see how much yellow was there because Pittsburgh fans, how they're everywhere. And even then, I was like, "Oh my gosh, it is loud!" Because it was half Pittsburgh fans, and it was still loud. I think they did some. They made
science.
They used science and architecture to make it loud. Anyway, I am this close. I'm going way too much. I'm talking way too much more about this game than I should. I am this close to going all in on the Saints bandwagon and the Jameis Winston for president and NFL MVP bandwagon. I'm this close. I have the Saints winning 31-20. Saints roll on the road.
Big win. Going back to the stadium, I've been there. I've been there a couple times, but twice to watch football games. And we both against the Rams. And the first time I went, I parked down the street, but it was like on the Bird's Nest side, so where the opening of the stadium is. And as you're walking up to the stadium, you can just hear it's loud walking up the street towards the stadium. And you're like, oh, man, like you're talking to the guy next to you. You have to like yell at him even though you're on the street still. It's that loud. And then once you get in, it's ridiculous. And the cool thing about the stadium is like you can get nosebleed seats and you can see the game well because I think it's the science that they used. The stadium is built so steep. Like you're standing on top of the people in front of you. So you can see the field from anywhere. Like I had awesome seats.
This stat was from years ago, so with new stadiums and stuff, I don't know if it's true, but a couple years ago when I heard it, the Quest Field at the time stood on the smallest footprint of any stadium in the NFL, and it still holds the same amount of people.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah, because you're just on each other's shoulders. So.
Yeah.
All right. Even though Carlos closes out with the last game, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the games you skipped for no reason.
Go back to Sunday afternoon.
Go back to the next one. And I'm gonna.
You missed two.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go to Chicago and Tampa Bay. You get it or no?
No.
Do you need a minute?
Yeah.
All right, pick it right now. Dude, you got two. You got okay. So Chicago at Tampa Bay.
Games.
Hold on, write this down.
Okay.
Chicago on the road at Tampa Bay. Tampa's a 12.5-point favorite.
Okay.
And then the other one is Colts on the road at 49ers. 49ers are a 4-point favorite. You take your time.
All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Rios.
Yeah, if we were like a good, like a real podcast and we were producing stuff, we'd probably cut all this, but I'm probably gonna leave all of this in.
When
Yeah.
we send
Authenticity.
our tape to Barstool for the initial purchase offer, we just won't put this episode in.
There you go.
So you'd be like, hey, what happened in week 7? I'm like, no, you don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
Right.
He's been drinking.
Yeah. Chicago's going to Tampa. 12.5. I thought that was a lot of points. I guess Chicago's pretty bad and Tampa's pretty good. So I do have Tampa Bay winning. I have Tampa Bay winning 24-17. I mean, their offense is ridiculous. They have a lot of players. Their defensive secondary is banged up, though. So I do have Chicago scoring some points and then covering the 12.5 points. So Tampa Bay 24, Chicago 17, Chicago plus 12.5.
I totally agree. I almost have the same score. Bucks 27, Bears 17. But Tampa wins, but Chicago covers.
Well, I'm on Loner Island over here.
In your defense, you did it in the last 30 seconds. So
Yeah, exactly. That's right. I don't know, man. I just have a feeling that Tampa Brady over there is going to get it done for some reason. Cover the 12.5. I had as soon as we said it, I was like, oh man, this is going to be a big game for him at home. So give me Tampa Bay covering minus 12.5, 28-10.
All right, so I'll take the last one. The Sunday night game, Colts on the road against the 49ers. The 49ers are a 4-point favorite, like I said. I don't really know what to make of the 49ers. I don't think I've really seen them a ton this year, and so I don't know. But I don't – the Colts – it's hard to say that, the Colts are back on track when they beat the Texans. They handled them really easily, and they should have. And so the jury's still out on them. They're a 2-4 team, and so until kind of proven otherwise, I'm going to take the home team on this one. So I have a close game, but I have the 49ers winning 26-21, and I'm taking the 49ers -4.
This one was hard for me. I don't know. I'm the same way that you are. Where I haven't watched, I don't think, a single 49ers game this year, and I watch pretty much every football game. That one's always just so boring that I don't pay attention to it. I'll probably watch when they play against the Rams, I guess. And the Colts, they're all over the place. I can't tell where they are. They have, games where they throw shovel passes for interceptions, and they have games where they handle the bad teams, I guess. They handle the bad teams, and they struggle against the good teams. But I have this one being a close game. I like San Francisco to win. I have San Francisco 24, Indianapolis 23, Indianapolis +4. Give me like a last-second field goal by San Francisco to win it or something like that.
I was actually kind of impressed last week by the Colts defense. And
Davis Mills.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean,
Lockdown.
their linebackers can fly around the
Steel
field.
curtain.
But with that being said, I think the 49ers win, but I think it's closer than we think. So I wrote down Colts 23, 49ers 26. Give me the Colts +4.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Burley. All right. So with that being said, okay, now we're done. I'm sorry about that. My fault. That's on me.
I like how we were like, a lot of buys this week. And Carlos was like, yeah, like a lot of buys this
I
week.
was like, what the hell's going on? Anyway, let's go into our locks. So I did the best last week, so I go first. I don't know if this is a good lock or not, but it's my lock, and that's that. All right. I took the Bengals at +6.5. Divisional game. It's gonna be close, in my opinion, and I think that Bengals team has something to prove. They want to show everyone that they're not going to be pushed around by anyone in that division this year. So give me the Bengals to cover that +6.5.
I think Carlos is at a disadvantage when it comes to the lock because he didn't know 2 of the games were even going to happen. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I don't think I would have picked any of those 2 games anyways. So
All right. I got the next one. I'm taking Kansas City to cover the 5.5 points over Tennessee. I think their offense comes back. They didn't play very well last week against Washington, and they still won, and they won easily. So I think they come back, they win big over a Tennessee team that came off of a hard-fought, emotional win over Buffalo. So give me Kansas City minus 5.5 for my lock.
So, like Carlos, I am also taking a road division underdog as my lock of the week. The Jets defense is actually good. I know that's hard to believe, but they are. And I think they're going to get in a messy, close game in New England. And I have the New York Jets as my lock of the week.
+7, huh?
+7.
You're a wild man. You just hate hitting locks, huh?
Hey, I'm 3-3 this year. I'm doing way better than last year.
Fair enough.
If I can stay 500, I'd take that.
I missed my last two. I was 4-0, and then I missed my last two. So, we'll see.
We're looking to stay hot this week, baby. We're saying hot this week.
Oh, we got props. Yeah, as long as if all three of us are above 500 every week, that means we're good as a show.
Yeah, that definitely means something.
That means we should probably actually start gambling.
Yeah.
Or not. You guys should start gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right over here.
It's almost legal in Florida. It should be legal by the end of the year.
There you go.
Do you have something to add? Sorry.
I was going to say, you guys have anything else to add? I was going to ask that.
I'm good.
All right. Well, have fun Sunday tomorrow, and then stay tuned for our power rankings. They'll probably drop on Tuesday, so after the Monday night game. So look on our Twitter and let us know.
At Coffee Pot is the Twitter if you want to check us out there. We also post the links to these episodes on there.
Yep. And let us know if you agree or disagree with our NFL power rankings. So
I'm interested. I think it's so funny how like right away you guys are all, boy, you really just fucking hate the Ravens, huh? I was like, yeah.
I would say one note on the power rankings, one of the most interesting things was that we did collectively rank the AFC North as the best division in all of football. So we'll see.
We'll see where it's at the end of the year.
We'll see how that – and the Browns have continued that this week, so we'll see how they do this week.
I mean, I think they are the best. I was in it for the NFC, but I think the Seahawks are bad. And the equivalent would be the Steelers, which are also bad. So
what are you talking about, Willis?
I think you're the worst team in your division.
Hey, if we lose this week, maybe I'll agree with you.
All right. It's a bye.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging with us this long. Appreciate it.